Okay, figured I might address the murders that have been going on lately in the USA. It's about time I speak about them, um, and the consequence in relation to um, the example of what's going to happen in the coming years as a result of such chaos, as it were. With namely one, Israel being the example. And you see, I say it before, and I say it on a lot of posts that I've put and replies, that the slow and barbaric death of one person might mean the death, or the quick and swift death of thousands of people. Okay? And it will only end until that which is equal to the suffering of the other has been, you know, has been retributed. So in such respect, here with what's happening with the USA, expect a retaliation. It's going to happen automatically. It's an automatic thing. Expect the lengths of what's going to happen, the same as in regards to what's happening with Israel and Palestine at the moment. How you see how, you know, what Israel's done to Gaza. Okay, this is what's going to become of the people. It's the example, you know. So yeah, so you know, in the end, common sense and justice must prevail. You know, that the mindless, those mindless people, they can't survive to make it to a place where there's no bad things going on in the world, because the bad thing is because of that mindlessness. So you've got to be mindful to do the good things so good things can happen. Now, before the cleanup, before the, you know, there's the filth. The place gets filthy. You've got to clean it up. It's the same in respect to what's happening now. People have got to begin to realise what's going on, and then they'll correct those mistakes, and to ensure that that's not going to happen again. That's never going to happen again. You saw with this last 4 years of the Biden presidency, when he was, you know, promoting all that immigration, people saw what it was doing, what dangers it had on the citizens of the country, and then the people are going back there. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen again. Okay, and soon, you know, that Europe is beginning to follow suit, and people are sick of it. They've had enough, and you know, they've learned what's wrong. Okay, they've had their turn. Now it's the turn of the other, you know, people, and you see, justice prevails at the end. Okay, but you know, it always had to happen. It was always going to happen, right? It didn't have to happen, but it was going to happen. Okay, now UK has to be next. It's going to be the last on that, you know. So yeah, so, but in saying that, where does it come from? Everybody asks, well, wants to know why people commit these atrocities for, or why does war happen in the first place? Well, I figured out that the effects from such insanity comes from what the body is putting into it, what they're consuming, and it all revolves around the picture of Satan. You know, the devil, the horn creatures, the people eating of the horn creatures, namely them bulls and goats and sheep, they become the evil. Now, in war, the lesser must be the well, the victim, what is meant to be the loser, is the one that eats the lesser of the one of the horns, where the one of the bull is the victor. So, you know, so in this case, you got Islam, all right, that always sacrificed the lamb, and you got Israel that always, or Judaism that always sacrificed the bull. So it's the bull versus the lamb. The bull's gonna win every time. Okay. Now, it's sad that these things happen, and they happen, and you know, but it has to end one day. That's why I eat chicken. Chicken thus has wings, thus be angelical. So have chicken, have wings. Be angelical in that regard. And there's enough chicken for everybody. You know, there's not enough beef, and there's not enough of them creatures to go around for everybody. For that to be enough for everybody, it has to be like 50 billion. Seriously, do the calculations. It takes them at least a year to 2 years to get to adulthood, and there's only a billion of them, or a couple of billion. Seriously, there's not enough for everybody, and people go around eating that on a daily basis. It's going to come back. It's not going to last for them. And it's sad that there are casualties in the meanwhile, and you know, there's always a reason why this happens to people. And those who dislike and might want to, murder somebody, they know why that person, why they dislike that person. No, but that doesn't mean it's right for them to murder that person. But, if the person didn't really know and was rightfully being ridiculous, well, then that person can't survive, can they? Then that person must die also. Okay, so it works both ways there. Like it's what goes around comes around, So, yeah, the extent of the transgression is to the extent of the penalty, which one suffers is going to suffer from the transgression. Okay, so yeah, that's all I've got to say about that. So expect something big to be happening soon, in regards to all these murders that have been going on in the USA as of recent. Okay,